this knowledge to you. No. He is addressing the soul. A soul can be in a Hindu body, or a Muslim body, or a Christian body, or Sikh body, Buddhist body. But actually soul is beyond these boundaries of religion. And Lord Krishna is addressing the soul. Does Hindu feel a pain in a different way than a Muslim feels a pain? That इसको मुसलमान वाला दर्द होता है, इसको हिंदू वाला दर्द होता है. ऐसा होता है? या इसको क्रिश्चियन वाली खुशी मिलती है और इसको हिंदू वाली खुशी मिलती है. क्या खुशी का कोई रिलीजन होता है? No. So Lord Krishna is addressing in the Bhagwat Gita the soul. And that case it is the most secular book, because soul is neither Hindu, nor Muslim, nor Christian, nor any other kind of religion which have been manufactured by the men of this world. So that case Bhagwat Gita is applicable for all, is applicable to all. So everyone and anyone can read Srimad Bhagwat Gita. And anyone who reads Bhagwat Gita will receive protection. Like in Mahabharata, the two parties, the Kaurav party and the Pandav party, they were there. And in the center there was one nest. And in the nest there were eggs of a sparrow. And she was worried that these two great armies, this great crowd of people, it was not army for her, for the bird, these two great armies are about to fight. It seems like that, because as they were blowing their conch shells, so the eggs were shaking. So the bird was quite worried what to do. So then from one side came one chariot, and Lord Krishna and Arjuna, they are having this conversation, divine conversation. She could not understand what's going on, but she said, "Whosoever you are, please spare my eggs. Please spare my eggs." But they were discussing and it's going on. And then afterwards, as the conversation completed in 45 minutes, and then the chariot returned back. And then the bird was thinking, "Oh, now my eggs are gone." And then she also flew to a nearby tree in Kurukshetra. And then this war started from both the sides, Kaurav side and Pandav side. And the Lord Krishna told Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, can you see that elephant?" "Yes." "Can you see that warrior on the elephant?" "Yes." "Can you see the bell which is hanging around the neck of the elephant?" "Yes." "Shoot on that bell." He said, "Oh my Lord, not to the elephant, not to the warrior on the elephant." He said, "No, neither of them. But the hell which is hanging around the neck of the elephant, that bell." Now during Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told Lord Krishna, "Karishye vachanam tava." Whatever you will say, I'll do. So he said, okay, I'll do that. So he shot the arrow. As he shot the arrow, so this bell which hit the bell around the neck of the elephant, it fell just around the nest. And the nest was protected inside the bell. Now for 18 days this war of Mahabharata was happening. 18 days. And outside was the hot blood of the Kshatriyas, the warriors, it was flowing. So in this way there was a little bit of warmth inside the bell. So 18th day, as Ashwatthama was escaping from the battlefield, so the axle of his wheel, it hit the bell. So the bell opened. So as the bell opened, from there came the chickens. Chee, 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 chee. So the bird which was there outside, waiting on a tree, "Now my children, my eggs," oh. As she heard this chee, 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 this chirping sound of the chickens, she became very much hopeful. And then she saw that yes, the chickens are protected. Now even though she could not understand Bhagavad Gita, she was also listening to the Gita. But even then, the Lord protected that bird as well as the chicken. So Bhagavad Gita, even if somebody does not understand, still can bless the person, can purify the person. And once there was a father, he told his son, "Beta, tum Gita padha karo." The child said, "Papa, but I don't understand Bhagavad Gita." And "So what? Still you study, beta." "And no, Papa, if I can't understand, why should I study? I don't know Sanskrit. Padam padam padhani, Sanskrit kabhi na aani to bhul jani, master's dande khani. So I can't study." So that phase, the father said, "Okay, beta, all right." He said that there is one bucket. Yeah, there is coal also in the bucket. So please take the coal outside and then bring this bucket to me. So the child did that. And as he brought this bucket was made up of the bamboo strips. He said, go beta, bring some water from the river. I said, okay father. So he went and brought the water. But since there were holes in between, as in the strips of bamboo, so entire water, whatever was contained in the bucket, it would flow out, it would leak out. And as he reached, he said, Papa, no, entire water got leaked out. No problem, try again. So he went again he brought, again the same thing happened. Again he went, again he brought, same thing happened. So he said, Papa, why don't you give me a different container so that I can bring water? He said, Beta, even though you could not contain water from the river, but just see, the bucket is cleaned. Right? In a similar way, you may read Bhagwat Gita and it may leak out. But still, कटोरा तो clean हो जाएगा. और कटोरा clean करना जरूरी है. We have all these incidences happening in Hyderabad and all that, and then we have candle march, we have this, that. Every time same thing happens, but situation does not change. जब तक कटोरा चेंज नहीं होगा, जब तक टोकरी चेंज नहीं होगी, ये सब होता रहेगा. फिर आता है किसकी गलती है ये, who is at mistake? The boys, they are at mistake, or girls are at mistake. No, girls, they should not work, they should not wear these kind of dresses. No, girls are at mistake. No, boys are at mistake. Their minds are dirty. This is being happening since time immemorial. But what is the solution? You have to clean the bucket. And Bhagavad Gita, it cleanses the bucket effectively. So that case, Srimad Bhagavad Gita should be read. Even though in the beginning one may not understand. Of course, now there are good translations also. Like there is Bhagavad Gita as it is. Good, very good translations. We can read that. We don't need the understanding or knowledge of Sanskrit language. Not required. So that case one can be blessed by Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. And Mahabharata has got 1 lakh verses. And out of those 1 lakh verses, there is Bhishma Parva, and that Bhishma Parva there are 700 verses, and those 700 verses are Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Out of 1 lakh verses, only 700 Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now in case there is a gold ring, okay, but in that gold ring, if I put small piece of diamond, what will we call this ring now?
Diamond ring.
Diamond ring. Even though diamond is in minority. Majority तो सोने की है. Gold is in majority, diamond is in minority, but still we call it as diamond ring. Similarly, if entire Mahabharata is compared to gold, Bhagavad Gita is compared to the diamond. Actually, entire Mahabharata was meant to come to this juncture where Bhagavad Gita can be spoken. And Lord Krishna delivered Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, a warrior on the battlefield. Why? Because we all are having our own battlefields. But the only difference is that Arjuna's battlefield was outside, our battlefield is inside. That's the only difference. Otherwise, Lord Krishna could speak Bhagavad Gita in Dwarka, inside one of the 16,108 palaces, and he would have called, hey Rukmini, bring some Ruh Afza. We are having some Bhagavad Gita. So Arjun, you ask questions, I will answer. And we are having some honey chili potato, some dhokla, and khakra, and that means we are having good time, and then Arjun is asking questions, and very good. This could also happen, right? But Lord Krishna chose battlefield, and he chose a warrior because we also have our own battlefields. But our battlefield is not outside, our battlefield is inside. But we see that most people are fighting outside, but they don't fight inside. Everyone wants public glory, but nobody strives for private victory. Which is more important, private victory or public glory?
Private victory.
Private victory. And private victory is a hard task. Public glory is easy. But who deserves public glory? Those who have private victory, they deserve public glory. Otherwise, to handle fame, it requires a lot of substance. To handle power, it requires a lot of substance. Like there is a saying, if you want to test somebody's character, give him power. Because when somebody is downtrodden, then that's not a test of character. The test of character comes when there is power. despite having power, if I'm humble, that is real opulence. Having a very majestic, opulent life is not really an opulence. Real opulence is that when I have power, when I have influence, yet I am humble, I am grounded, I am prayerful, I am service-oriented. That is the test of character. And Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he is displaying the excellent quality of leadership, but without opposition. Usually in this world, people seek to become leader but through position. कि एक बार हम किसी कंपनी के CEO बन जाएं, CFO बन जाएं, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स में घुस जाएं, एक बार HOD बन जाएं, फिर देखो तमाशा. फिर तमाशा ही होता है, बस सेवा नहीं हो पाती बस. So leadership means we should learn from Lord Krishna, where he is not seeking to become the head of the warriors. No, he is a chariot driver. And how humbling it can be to be a chariot driver, you know. When the chariot driver is there, the warrior cannot communicate to the chariot driver by speaking. कहते सुनो भैया, अब ना रथ को राइट मोड़ लो. अच्छा सुनो, अब ना लेफ्ट मोड़ लो. अच्छा सुनो रोक दो, मुझे करंट से लड़ना है. अरे सुनो ना. We can't do that because there is so much noise all around that we cannot communicate to the chariot driver by speaking. The only way to communicate with the chariot driver is by kicking. If I hit my leg to the right shoulder of the chariot driver, it means right morna. Turn right. If on left side, then turn left. On center, that means now stop. That's the way the warrior communicates with the chariot driver. Now Lord Krishna, as per Bhagwat Gita, as per Shastra, as per Vedas, Upanishads, he is the supreme absolute truth. The supreme master, the supreme creator, the supreme proprietor, the supreme controller, the supreme enjoyer is Lord Krishna. Bhoktaram yagatapasam, sarvalokam maheshwaram, suhridam sarvabhutam, gyatva mam shanti vichari. So he is the supreme Lord, not just a boss of a company. He has accepted the role of a chariot driver. Wow. And then in between when he sees that, okay, here is my devotee, he is being perplexed. Let me take the role of a teacher in between. And then he takes his role of a coach, a teacher. And then again switches back to a chariot driver. So he is a leader. Why? Because he is not position oriented. Hey Arjun, अब हमको भी एक रथ दो. आए थोड़ी हम यहाँ बैठे होंगे. हमारी भी कोई इज्जत है. He is not doing that. So leader is the one who is more contribution oriented, service oriented than position oriented. Those who are position oriented, they are known as boss. They are bosses. Boss मतलब जो बासा है. Boss. Like there is saying in corporate culture, we say, people do not leave companies, people leave bosses. Because boss जो होता है बड़ा बासा हो चुका होता है वो. Thinking. Many bosses are there. It is easy to become a boss, but it is difficult to become a leader. There's a difference between these two terms. Being a boss and being a leader. Lord Krishna is not being bossy. After speaking entire Bhagwat Gita, and then he says to Arjuna, Yathechasi tatha kuru. As you desire, you may do. He could say, तो गीता सुनाई ना, अब तू वो कर जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करने का. मैं टाइम वेस्ट क्या? मैं करो तो वही कर. यथेच्छसि तथा करो. He's saying, now you may do as you desire. And he also said that in case you could not understand, I am ready to narrate the whole thing again. So he's a teacher with patience as well. Lord Krishna. You know, first chapter, Lord Krishna is not speaking at all. Arjuna is speaking. Second chapter also started. Lord Krishna is not speaking. Till the 11th verse, Lord Krishna is quiet. He is listening. 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 And then he starts speaking. And then throughout, he again and again reminds Arjuna. He reminds again, Tachnu, now listen. Now listen. Now Arjuna is not sleeping. Why is it that again and again Lord Krishna says in the Gita, now listen? Because listening or hearing is very, very important for our growth. It's very, very important to pull us out of turmoil, of chaotic situation. Okay, I'll make a statement. You tell me true or false. Okay? In order to experience happiness, it's a prerequisite that I must experience distress. True or false? True? Raise your hand. सुख का अनुभव करने के लिए दुख का अनुभव करना जरूरी है. कौन मानते हैं इस बात को? Okay, so 85% मोटा मोटा they believe that सुख का अनुभव करने के लिए दुख का अनुभव करना जरूरी है. In order to experience happiness, I must experience distress. That's a prerequisite. Who has ever enjoyed a glass full of mango shake? Raise your hand. Okay. So in order to enjoy a glass full of mango shake, first we take Karela juice. And then we are able to relish mango shake, right? Like when we go to juice wala, we tell, भैया पहले एक करेले का juice. उसके जब मुंह बकबका हो जाएगा, फिर मैंगो शेक का मजा आता है. अदरवाइज मैंगो शेक अजीब सा लगता है ना, राइट? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं करते हम लोग. पर सुख का अनुभव करने के लिए दुख का अनुभव करना जरूरी है, राइट? Not just you, in any part of the world, 90% people they believe that in order to experience happiness, I must experience distress. You know why? In this statement, I'm repeating. I'm speaking one word twice. Which is that word? In order to experience happiness, I must experience distress. Experience. Yes. People learn in this world by a teacher whose name is Mr. Experience. But it's a very costly teacher. Very, very costly teacher. बहुत महंगा टीचर है. सीख तो गए साहब, लेकिन फंस भी गए. अब निकलें कैसे? समझ में आ गया सारा ताम झाम क्या है, लेकिन हम निकलें कैसे? So experience is a teacher, but experience is a very costly teacher. There is also one more very economical teacher. And the name of the economical teacher is Mr. Hearing. What's that? Mr. Hearing. Not Mr. Earrings. Mr. Hearing. सुनो सुनाओ, लाइफ बनाओ. जो लोग सुनते हैं ना, लाइफ तो उन्हीं की बनती है. जो लोग नहीं सुनते कहते हैं, अरे भाई ये लोग तो बोलते रहेंगे बड़ी बड़ी बातें यार, कहाँ है मेरा फोन, कहाँ है, उससे व्हाट्सएप किया, ये किया, दिस दैट. तो अभी किसी सीखेगा, कौन से इसका टीचर कौन बनेगा आगे जाकर के? Yes, Mr. Experience. Those who do not listen, for them there is another very costly teacher waiting, and that is Mr. Experience. But those who are intelligent, they learn from economical teacher. And the name of the economical teacher is Mr. Hearing. So Lord Krishna is giving this being an economical teacher, he is giving to Arjuna this free download of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And again he says, Tat Shunu. Now listen. In the beginning he listened. And then thereafter he is saying to Arjuna, now you listen. Again and again. And then in between also he listens to Arjuna. And again, then Arjuna listens to him. In this way, this attitude of listening to each other brings knowledge with such clarity. Usually clarity does not come because we are so hard of hearing, hard of listening. And as soon as more there is ego, poor is listening. Ego high ho या echo high हो, आवाज सुनाई नहीं देती. कहता है इसकी थोड़ी echo कम करेंगे थोड़ा ताकि सुनाई दे, और ego थोड़ी कम करेंगे ताकि आवाज सुनाई दे. So we become weak in hearing when we have high ego. But Lord Krishna is teaching us the quality of humility. For a leader, for a manager, it's very important to be humble. Humble. That's very important. So Lord Krishna, and Arjuna could be taken out of this chaotic situation. Why? Because Arjuna was listening. Of course, in Kali Yuga, since the time these gadgets have evolved, the retention, the attention span has gone really down. It is so easy for us nowadays to get distracted. So easy. One study says that nowadays the attention span is maximum 8 minutes. 8 minutes के बाद 9 मिनट होता है ना, बेचैनी चालू, पाँव हिलने शुरू हो जाएंगे, हाथ हिलने शुरू हो जाएंगे, कुछ ना कुछ होना शुरू हो जाता है, कुछ ना कुछ तो शुरू हो जाता है. Why? Because reason being the attention span has gone really poor. So that's a challenge in Kali Yuga. Of course, Amongst you, I can see that you have got good attention level. But in Delhi, people are very restless. Very, very restless. Even they don't have time to address to this restlessness. And that's why we call Delhi as Helly's Merry Delhi. It's a hellish place. It's the most polluted city in the world. We have the gold medal. Most polluted city. And people are also very passionate, restless. Most of them, if not all of them. So that case, to hear, listening is very important. And listening should also be followed by contemplation. So Arjuna, after hearing Lord Krishna, then he is contemplating also on the message. Yeah. So that case, listening is very important, both for the leader as well as those who are seeking to become leader or those who are working under the leader. That's very important. So Lord Krishna is using Arjuna for this message of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, Arjuna, he's already a devotee. He's already a devotee. He doesn't need Bhagavad Gita. Why is Lord Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? Because through him, he is speaking to us. Just like, have you seen the advertisement of washing powder? In the advertisement of washing powder, they see, ये देखिए ये है सफेद कमीज, आइए इसको थोड़ा मैला करते हैं. सॉस के दाग, मिट्टी के दाग, तेल के दाग. ये देखिए ये शर्ट बड़ी मैली हो गई है, आइए इसको सर्फ एक्सेल में डुबोते हैं. चमकदार सफेदी, सर्फ एक्सेल और रिन सुप्रीम, ऐसी होती है. So Lord Krishna had this strategy already applied before Bhagavad Gita was being launched. He said, ये देखिए ये है अर्जुन, आइए इसको कंफ्यूजन लगाते हैं, इस पे इसको स्ट्रेस लगाते हैं, इसको एंजाइटी लगाते हैं. ये देखिए अर्जुन एंजाइटी में आ गए, स्ट्रेस में आ गए, आइए इनको भगवद गीता में धो देते हैं. चमकदार सफेदी, नष्ट मोहा स्मृति लब्धा. मेरा सारा मोह नष्ट हो गया है, मेरी सारी ऑल माय कंफ्यूजन्स आर गॉन. एडवर्टाइजमेंट किसी हो गई? भगवद गीता. But just like Rin Supreme and Self Excel, even though it was advertised, but it was for the common masses. Similarly, Lord Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, but that is for whom? Arjuna, for us. For us. He's already a devotee. He's already a devotee. But yes, since he was in anxiety, he was in stress, and that phase Lord Krishna addressed his stress in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Usually people, when they are in stress, they listen to some song. कौन songs in a way? Hollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood. So when he was in stress, so Lord Krishna asked him, so Arjun, which song you would like to hear? Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, Hollywood, which one would you like to hear? He said, Krishna would. I want to listen a song from you. So when God sang a song, that song is known as Bhagwat Gita. भगवान ने गीत गाया, उसको बोलते हैं Bhagavad Gita. And that song is so philosophically, is so rich in knowledge, in spiritual content. It is so rich, so condensed, that there are so many commentaries written on this song. Have you ever seen a single song in this world on which commentaries are written, courses are designed? What kind of song is that? My God. Yes. When God sings a song, it is of that depth. So he's addressing the stress of Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. But who has put him in stress? Lord Krishna has put him in stress, so that he can be purified by Bhagavad Gita, and then we would be benefited and by reading Bhagavad Gita, by dwelling our hearts and minds and intellect into the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. But usually when somebody is in stress, why somebody is in stress? So Lord Krishna addresses that in 6th chapter. He says that in our existence there is mind and also there is intelligence. Yeah. Ideally, intelligence should be above, mind should be underneath. What is the function of intelligence? Discrimination. What is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is evil. Discrimination. Function of intelligence. Function of mind is thinking, feeling, willing. What's that? Thinking, feeling, and willing. For example, as you were passing by and on the red light you saw samosa wala. गरम गरम समोसे. तब मन में आया कि अरे काश समोसे हो जाते. थिंकिंग. फीलिंग, मौसम बढ़िया हो रहा है, ले ही लेता हूं. फीलिंग. एंड विलिंग, भैया गाड़ी रोकना जरा. And you got down and then you purchase a samosa. Thinking, feeling, and then willing. That's mind. There is no discrimination. It just flows with the thought. That's mind. Ideally, thinking, feeling, willing should be controlled by discrimination. That is intelligence. This is ideal. But in case it is other way around, that means mind is above and intelligence is facilitating thinking, feeling, willing of the mind, gone. Like typical example of the tussle between the mind and intelligence. Say for example, tomorrow is my exam. Throughout the semester I have not studied. अब जो झंडे गाड़ने हैं आज रात को ही गाड़ने हैं. And tonight also there is India-Pakistan match, World Cup finals. The mind will say, अरे ऐसे मौके कहाँ बार बार आते हैं. India-Pakistan match, finals, देख लेते हैं यार. इंटेलिजेंस कहेगी बेटा तूने पूरे सेमेस्टर में तूने कुछ नहीं किया है, आज रात को ही झंडे गाड़ने हैं, हाईलाइट्स देख लियो बाद में. बट माइंड में से ना हाईलाइट्स में वो चीज कहाँ, वो रोमांच कहाँ, और कल सुबह तो दोस्तों को क्या शक्ल दिखाएगा. देख लेते हैं. इंटेलिजेंस कहेगी नहीं भाई पढ़ ले भाई, अभी किताब खोल ले, नहीं तो तेरे पिताजी तेरे को गोली मार देंगे. नहीं यार गोली खा लेंगे लेकिन मैच तो बनता है. Now this is a tussle between the mind and the intelligence. So ideally intelligence should rule over the mind. But in this world we see 99% people, they have this picture other way around. Mind is controlling the intelligence. That means intelligence is facilitating the whimsicality of the mind. And that is very, very dangerous. So Lord Krishna in the chariot, there is a chariot here we see, and there is a warrior, and there is a chariot, and there are horses. The horses, they represent the senses. The horses are controlled via reins, lagam. And the chariot driver is the one who controls the horses. And then there is the passenger, the warrior. And then there is a rath. So Bhagwat Gita mentions that this rath symbolizes our body. The passenger is the soul. The chariot driver is intelligence. The reins is the mind. And the horses are the senses. तो घोड़ों को अगर लगाम में से खींचना है, कौन खींचेगा? Intelligence. सारथी कौन है? Intelligence. लगाम कौन है? मन. घोड़े कौन है? इंद्रियां. रथ शरीर. और जो रथ पे बैठा हुआ है, warrior, that's soul. So journey of the soul would be very pleasant in case the chariot driver is very strong. And then the strong chariot driver controls the senses through the mind. ऐसे सारथी होता है, वो लगाम के थ्रू घोड़ों को संभालता है, उसी तरह से in the same way the chariot driver, the intelligence, will take care of the senses through the mind. And then the journey of the passenger would be very pleasant. In this world we see that sometimes leaders, they spoil their name. Why? Because they become very obedient slaves of their minds. This happens? Yes, this happens. So that phase, it is very, very important for a leader to understand that I must make my intelligence strong. In case the intelligence is here and mind is here, ideally this should happen. That means I should lift my intelligence from here to here, this place. That means I should feed something to the intelligence so that the intelligence can become strong. Now what should I feed intelligence? Horlicks? Chyawanprash? क्या खिलाएं इसको? ब्रेन वीटा प्लस की कैप्सूल्स? क्या खिलाएं इसको? और what's the Brahmi? What should we feed the intelligence? What's the petrol of the intelligence? What's the food of the intelligence? Spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is the food of the intelligence. When the intelligence is fed with spiritual knowledge, then the intelligence becomes strong. And then the intelligence can come from this place to this place. And then it can control the mind. Otherwise, uncontrolled mind is one's greatest enemy. Greatest enemy. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 6, he says that mind, if not controlled, is the greatest enemy of a person. And when it is controlled, it is the best of friend. So our worst of enemy does not lie outside. The worst of enemy lies within. What destroys one great leaders like Bill Clinton is mind only. And how mind brings degradation of a leader, that is also given in the Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 2, verse 62 and 63, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, he says, Dhyayato Vishyam Pumsan, Sangaspesh Vajayate, Sanga Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Krodha Vijayate. That how fall down happens, Lord Krishna is explaining. That first comes the contemplation on the sense object. किसी एक चीज के ऊपर ध्यान देना. वो कोई व्यक्ति भी हो सकता है, वो कोई लड़की भी हो सकती है, वो कोई लड़का भी हो सकता है, वो कुछ पैसा भी हो सकता है, वो कुछ पोजीशन भी हो सकती है. Anything. Contemplation. When there is contemplation, then there is attachment to it. And when there is attachment, that brings lust. Lust means obsessive desire to exploit something. That is lust. It doesn't mean just carnal thing between male and female. Lust means an obsessive desire to exploit something is known as lust. When there is lust, that means there is obsessive desire to enjoy something. When this desire is frustrated, that leads to anger. When this desire is satisfied, that leads to greed. Both of them are wrong, right? Both of them are bad. Greed or anger. When there is anger, then there is delusion. When there is delusion, then there is bewilderment of memory. Bewilderment of memory means, even मैंने पहले गलत काम किया था, आज सीख भी लिया, नहीं आगे से नहीं करूँगा. Bewilderment of memory means that past experience is gone. Still the person does the same thing. And then loss of intelligence, and that leads to fall down. Big kings, they fell down from their position. Why? Because everything started from Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa. That means contemplation on the sense object. सिर्फ देखने से नहीं दिक्कत होती. अगर देख लिया और फिर आप आगे बढ़ गए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. लेकिन देख के अगर आपकी आंखें वहां टिक गई, अरे गए काम से. Our founder Acharya once, he was Srila Prabhupada, when he was in the airport, so he had one disciple, and this disciple was looking at the air hostess. The air hostess was beautiful, and as she was passing by, so he was with open mouth and broad eyes. So he was staring at the air hostess. So then Srila Prabhupada looked at him. And then he saw that Srila Prabhupada, his guru, has seen him line marte hue, sakshat. If a guru catches a disciple staring at a girl, Are Baba, very embarrassing. So he saw that guru has seen him. And then he also saw Srila Prabhupada, the spiritual master, that he has seen his spiritual master, that he is being caught red-handed. So then he came closer to him. He said, she is beautiful, right? And then the disciple was even more embarrassed. He said, if the creation is so beautiful, just think how beautiful the creator would be. And as soon as he heard this, that if the creation is so beautiful, how beautiful the creator would be, immediately all his lusty thing was gone. But where he was getting caught? Contemplation. As soon as there is contemplation, there is attachment. Attachment leads to lust. Lust either leads to anger or it leads to greed. But in both the cases, finally it leads to delusion. Delusion leads to bewilderment of memory. And then that leads to loss of intelligence. And that leads to fall down. So everything starts by contemplation. So that means if somebody is just on the level of contemplation, take a U-turn, बच जाओगे. जितना आगे बढ़ जाएंगे U-turn लेना मुश्किल होगा. अटैचमेंट होगी, अब तो U-turn लेना बड़ा मुश्किल है. तो आसक्ति होगी ना. आसक्ति का मतलब क्या है? जो आ सकती है, जा नहीं सकती. उसको बोलते हैं आसक्ति. Next is lust. Oh, now it has become, the situation has become more severe. So that means Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, right from very beginning, curb this enemy called lust, which is the enemy of knowledge. Enemy of knowledge. You will see even whether college education or spiritual education. As soon as somebody is lusty, that means he has obsessive desire to enjoy life. The person cannot acquire vidya. बिना तपस्या के विद्या प्राप्त नहीं होती. चाहे वो कॉलेज की विद्या हो या फिर आध्यात्मिक विद्या हो. विद्या के लिए तपस्या करनी पड़ती है. Like nowadays, it's a big challenge. Nowadays, two challenges which are happening in India, not just in Delhi. Drug addiction and e-addiction. Because of this e-addiction, many students are not even studying their books. Because as soon as there comes Facebook, so before the face, there is no more book. Because now there is Facebook. But how it starts? It all starts with contemplation. When I start contemplating on the gadgets as well, these gadgets, they capture my mind, attachment, lust, desire, and then we finally lead to the stage of fall down, when we have poor grades. This happens nowadays. It is happening. I'm not very sure about drug addiction because in Delhi it's a big thing. Earlier it was only in Punjab, Udta Punjab, but now Udta Bharat ho gaya abhi to khair pura. Because drug addiction is a big problem nowadays among the youth. Youth is becoming bhoot because of these two kinds of addiction. E-addiction and drug addiction. But it all starts with bad association and then contemplation on the sense object. And that finally leads to fall down. So Lord Krishna is addressing this point that we must make our intelligence very strong. We must make our intelligence very strong. And what's the food of intelligence?
Spiritual reading, hearing, leading.
What's the food of intelligence?
Spirituality.
Spiritual knowledge. So that means we should also make some efforts to gather this spiritual knowledge. When we have spiritual knowledge, then we have the eyes which are trained in knowledge. Then we can see the world as it actually is. Like Shastras, they mention two words. One is known as Charma Chakshu, another is known as Jnana Chakshu. Charma Chakshu means biological eyes. If you see the world with biological eyes, you will get stuck somewhere. Pakka. But we should see this world with Jnana Chakshu. That means eyes which are trained in knowledge. If eyes are not trained in knowledge, kahin na kahin to phasayengi aankhein. Pakki baat. For sure. So we have to train these eyes in divine knowledge. But from where do we take divine knowledge? By hearing. And that's why the one who is a sense enjoyer, he sees this world through the eyes. But those who are intelligent, they see this world from ears. Sunna. That's very important. And that way, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it addresses a very, very crucial and important point of addressing the needs of the soul. When we do not nourish the soul, that even somebody has got all aristocracy, all power, position and influence, everything, but yet the person would remain dissatisfied. Why? Because he is not nourishing the soul. If there is a cage, inside the cage there is a parrot. If I only polish the cage but do not feed the parrot, what will happen? The parrot will die. Similarly, in this cage, we have to take care of this cage. Eating, nice sleeping, little exercise, we should do that. But there is also parrot inside. That is the soul. And that should also be addressed. Usually people do not know about anything about soul. The soul? What is soul? ये जूते के नीचे soul होता है, उसकी बात कर? कौन सा soul है ये? Sir, वो spirit soul. Ah, spirit soul. Okay. Ah, yeah. Oh, okay. But factually speaking, people have no idea about the soul. And Lord Krishna is speaking first about the soul. That's our true identity. That's the knowledge of the soul. Once Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he went to one mental asylum in Agra. And he asked the doctor that among these mad people, which one is least harmful? So he said, the one who is sitting backside, yeah, that one. Not here, that there. Is least harmful. So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he went to this mad guy who was getting treated. He said, what's your name? He said, why should I tell? You tell, what's your name? So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said, my name is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. I am the Prime Minister of India. And this mad guy started laughing, rolling on the ground. He said, excuse me, I didn't crack a joke. I just told you my name. I am Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So this mad guy said, 6 years back when I came here, I also used to say the same thing. So they put me here. Now is your chance. That means if I identify myself with something which I am not, I am pagal. Right? If I identify myself with something else which I am not, that means I am pagal. Pagal. Like take your finger, index finger. All those who are blessed with this index finger, yeah. Touch your head, touch your nose, touch your chin, touch your chest, touch your knee. Now touch yourself. उंगली ऐसे होगी ना? कहते सर सब का तो हमको पता ही नहीं. So if somebody does not know about self, क्या है वो? क्या है वो? अच्छा ठीक है. Okay. अच्छा एक व्यक्ति है जो ना ट्रेन में चढ़ा. And somebody asked him, भैया भाई साहब ट्रेन में क्यों चढ़े? So he says, well सब चढ़े तो हम भी चढ़े. कहते अच्छा भाई साहब कहाँ उतरोगे आप? हाँ जी हाँ सब उतरेंगे हम भी उतर जाएंगे. तो ये आदमी क्या है? नॉर्मल है कि पागल है? क्या है? पागल है. अच्छा वो हमसे पूछे ये आप क्यों जी रहे हो? ये सब जी रहे हैं, हम भी जी रहे हैं. अच्छा जिंदगी में आपको क्या करना है? ये सब करेंगे, हम भी कर लेंगे. तो आदमी क्या है? नॉर्मल है कि पागल है? अलाउडली
पागल है.
क्यों आदमी एडमिट करने क्या है? पर पागलों की खास बात ये होती है, पागल खुद को पागल नहीं मानता. हम कहां से पागल? तुम पागल, तुम्हारा खानदान पागल, हम कैसे पागल? पागल व्यक्ति खुद को पागल नहीं मानता. Yeah? But yes, in case if I do not know about my identity being a soul, then actually whatever I am doing, it is activity like that of a madman. Just like in mathematics problem, if on the first line, if I make some mistake, and all of the lines, differentiation, integration, trigonometry, I apply all this complex number, वगैरह मैं सब लगाया first class, will the answer would be right or wrong? Wrong. Because in first line I made one mistake, but rest of the formulas, the differentiation, integration, and all that calculus, trigonometry, complex numbers, algebra, everything was perfectly fine, but the answer would be wrong. Reason being, I made a mistake in the first line itself. Similarly, when we do not know about our own identity being the soul, we are conscious spiritual particle who belongs to the Lord. When we do not know about this identity, then we would make so many mistakes in life, actually. And Lord Krishna, that's why second chapter itself, he gives this knowledge of the soul. How do you feel when somebody treats you like a commodity or an object? Do you feel good or bad? कोई आपको चीज की तरह इस्तेमाल करे. Like sometimes in corporates we say that that's our HR department, human resource. Humans are also just resource. We have got some technical resource, we have got some financial resource, and these are human resource. Is it good to be treated like a commodity? If a husband treats wife like a commodity, कहते हैं हाँ चीज है क्या करूँ, बनाई थी खाना वाना बनाई थी मेरे लिए, ठीक है चीज ही है. हस्बैंड यहाँ चीज है, ही जस्ट एन एटीएम कार्ड फॉर मी, दैट्स इट. मुझे कुछ चाहिए होता है उस एटीएम कार्ड से मैं मांग लेती हूँ, वो निकाल देता है मेरे को, बढ़िया है. So if somebody sees me or looks at me or treats me just like a thing, a commodity, do you feel good or bad? Bad. And that phase, it is very important that being leaders also, all those who are working underneath us or we are working with people, we should treat them like people only, not commodities. That's very important. Otherwise it becomes culture of exploitation. That's it. Like in corporate, it is said, the shit flows from the top. Suna aapne? I'm telling you the slogans from the corporate world. The shit flows from the top. Similarly, nectar also flows from the top. Like Dada is there, so nectar flows from the top. Because he is a visionary, very kind-hearted person, sober, selfless, contributing. So when leader is there on the top, he is very selfless, and there is nectar flows from the top. But when I treat all those who are working with me or under me just like a commodity, just like an object, exploitative environment, shit flows from the top. So people are working there, कोई नहीं आप पापी पेट का सवाल है, लगे रहो कोई नहीं. And then they have their bags also. On that bag there is written boss. And they punch on that bag and they take out their frustration. Is it a good culture? No ways. So Lord Krishna is addressing this knowledge of soul to Arjuna. Why? Because we should treat every living entity as a person. God is a person also. He's not a formless light. He's not Nirakar. The effulgence which is coming out of the body, maybe Nirakar. Yeah, it is Nirakar. But he is having a form. When God is having a form, so his children would also have a form. They are also person. When God is a person, so children are also their person. So we should treat everyone like a person. That's important. God made man in his own image. So he is a person, so we are also persons. So we should treat everyone personally. That's very important. And then we will see that once we are treated nicely, in a very personal fashion, productivity, efficiency, success, quality, they naturally follow. Obviously follow. And that's why we see that Lord Krishna, he addressed this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Then other 4 Pandavas, they did not feel envious. कहते उसको सुना रहे हो, हमें सुना लो. अर्जुन का स्पेशल है क्या? वो लोग भी रख लेके आते कहते हमें भी सुनना. ऐसा नहीं हुआ. They could say, okay, Arjuna is so fortunate, he is being awarded with this divine knowledge. Maybe after this, today's war in the camp, we will also listen. That's nice. So there is no enviousness in this culture, because in this culture, God is in the center. And that's why His grace is in the center. And that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Otherwise, life is like a rat race. In a rat race, whether you win, whether you lose, you are still a rat. Is it good to be a rat? But if before the race, if I add the letter G, then what does it become? RACE के पहले अगर लगा दें G, तो क्या बन जाएगा? Grace. So G stands for what? Gravitational constant. G stands for God. Yes. So presence of God transforms race into grace. Like that. So when we bring God in our life, especially in the form of His teachings, then the rat race will turn out to be very graceful. Why? Because I have accepted the presence of God, His teachings in my life. And He has spoken this Bhagavad Gita for our benefit, as a manual of life. आप ऐसे कितने लोग हैं जो गाड़ी की सर्विसिंग कराते हैं हर 5000 किलोमीटर के बाद, because it is mentioned in the manual, after every 5,000 kilometers, get your vehicle serviced. कौन कराते हैं? So we run the vehicle as per the manual, but we don't run this vehicle as per the manual. ये समझदारी है? हाँ? समझदारी है ना? So that which is an inanimate object, a dead object, we run that with the help of a manual. But this vehicle, we just run by hit and try method. And then at the age of 60, कहता हमने सीख लिया, हमने धूप में बाल सफेद नहीं किए. अरे बाबूजी, अगर आपने गीता पहले पढ़ ली होती ना, वो पहले सीख जाते आप, जो आपने जोड़ जोड़ करके जो सीखा है. So that is the good way of learning, is that firstly I should bring the manual in the beginning of my life. Not that after crashing the gadget, but before using the gadget. Right? And that's why sometimes people have this attitude of reading the Gita in a fag end of life. एक बार बच्चे बिहा लें, रिटायरमेंट के बाद खोलेंगे इसको. और क्या, देखिए अभी जिम्मेदारियां हमारी हैं. देखिए आप कह रहे हैं गीता पढ़िए. देखिए हम लोग गृहस्थ हैं, जिम्मेदारियां हैं हमारी. तो अर्जुन कौन थे फिर? Arjun had 4 wives. He is super duper grihast. So Lord Krishna did not choose Narad Muni for Bhagavad Gita. Why? तो उनको पता है तो ब्रह्मचारी है. ब्रह्मचारी कितने होते हैं? 0.001%. दुनिया में 99.9999% people are गृहस्थ. गृहस्थ का मतलब ये जो अस्त है, व्यस्त है, त्रस्त है, चारों खाने पस्त है, क्योंकि वो गृहस्थ है. तो किसको ज्यादा जरूरत? Who needs it more? A monk or a householder? A householder. And that's what Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to a householder. कि आगे जाके कोई बहाना नहीं दे. Nobody can give an excuse. Well, हम तो गृहस्थ लोग हैं जी, देखिए हम कहाँ, देखिए अब जिनको प्रवचन देने होते हैं, those who are to give discourses, they may read Bhagavad Gita, but we are never to give a discourse on the Gita. So हम लोग थोड़ी पढ़ेंगे जी, ये गेरवा कपड़ा पहनने वाले लोग ये पढ़ लें, हम तो ये गृहस्थ लोग हैं जी. Excuse me, Lord Krishna delivered Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Arjuna is young. Okay, the listener of the Gita is young. The speaker of the Gita, Lord Krishna, young, dashing, handsome. So speaker is young, listener is young. But we will study when we are old. What logic? Logic is the Judah. When it comes to spirituality, I have seen people, they really demolish, crash, trash logic. So that case we should read Bhagavad Gita now. We had one contest, Gita contest in Delhi, and one Muslim girl, she won the contest. And she was asked to come to the podium and deliver a speech. How was her experience participating in this contest of Bhagavad Gita? And she said, even though I participated in this contest out of, as a matter of participation, but while reading Bhagavad Gita, I could see that it's such an amazing book. And that way I now regularly read the Bhagavad Gita. But I feel so sad that the Indians, they don't read Bhagavad Gita. They don't have their personal copy of Bhagavad Gita. We have our personal copy of Quran. But I don't see people in India carrying their personal copy of Bhagavad Gita. They have two mobile phones, but they don't have a single copy of Bhagavad Gita with them. And then she very humbly urged that all of you, all those who have come here, please do carry a copy of Bhagavad Gita. A Muslim girl. A Muslim girl. So that case, we should all read this manual of life, and God has given us as His topmost blessing. Lord Krishna says that Gita is my heart. So God is giving His heart to us. I love you. And we say, well, maybe sometime in future, but God is giving His heart in the form of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. So please read it and reform your life and feel rejuvenated and enlightened. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll take some question answer. Yeah. Okay, because I know I got 15 minutes more, so I thought I should leave 15 minutes for question answer. In case anybody has any question, you may raise your hand and ask question.
Hello.
Okay. Akashvani hui. Khale ko kahan se? Okay, anybody has any question, you may raise your hand and ask question. Okay, no question. इसका दो मतलब होता है. एक, हमें सब समझ में आ गया. और दूसरा, ये हमारे साथ क्या हुआ? क्या ले? ऑप्शन है, ऑप्शन बी. अच्छा, कोई बी वाला भी है? Okay, anybody has any question? Yes. Okay, back side. Like sometimes we do not ask the question because, बाकी लोग चिढ़ाएंगे, तू बड़ा पंडित बनना है, सवाल पूछ रहा है तू, अच्छा खासा लेक्चर खत्म हो गया, तू जरूरी तो सवाल पूछ रहा है. There was one Indian guy, one Spanish guy, he was traveling in a ship.
Hello.
So the Spanish guy said, bon appetit. So Indian guy did not know what's the meaning of this bon appetit, and I thought maybe he's telling his name. So yeah, Rajendra Kumar. And then they continued their lunch. Next day again the same thing happened. The Spanish guy said, bon appetit. The Indian guy said, yeah, Rajendra Kumar. So there was one more Indian guy. Hey, क्या तू बोलता है तू Rajendra Kumar? Bon appetit means maybe you have good food, good digestion. ये होता है Rajendra Kumar, लल्लू कहीं का. So next day, before the Spanish guy would say, the Indian guy said, bon appetit. The Spanish guy said, Rajendra Kumar. Because sometimes when we are not asking questions, we are just preparing ourselves for our future embarrassment, But anyways, we have got, okay, bon appetit.
Hello.
Yes.
Myself, Dr. Prakash Pujapur. And I want to say something about Bhagavad Gita. I don't read this Bhagavad Gita, but I hope there is two life in our whole life. One is Grahast life and another is Karmas life. So which one is more better and how can we benefit by those life?
One is Grahastha life, another is?
Grahast Jivan and Karmast Jivan.
Karmastha Jivan. Okay.
Which one is more better?
Okay. Actually, Karmastha Jivan or dutiful Jivan. Like they're saying those who are dutiful, they become beautiful. So, of course, we should be dutiful. Within our Grahastha life also, we should be dutiful. Sometimes It is believed that spirituality means being an escapist. छोड़ो घरबार, चलो हरिद्वार. So spirituality means that. The was बहुत तंग हो गए यार, ये कचर कचर सुन के खून पी गई मेरा ये. छोड़ो घरबार, चलो हरिद्वार. So sometimes it is believed that spirituality means being an escapist. भाग जाओ यार यहाँ से यार, तंग आ गए यार. जो भी अब 2-4 ग्राम बचा ये तो दे दे प्रभु को, सारा तो पी गई है स्टॉल लगा कर मेरा. But no, it is not like that. Bhagwat Gita, we see that Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna to be on the battlefield. Even though Arjuna said, in case he doesn't want to give me anything, let him rule. Just for the kingdom, I can't kill my kinsmen. But Lord Krishna is asking that you must fight. And he says in chapter 8 verse 7, he says, Mam anusmara yudhyacha. Remember me and fight. First remember me and then fight. Similar thing we have to do in the rest of the life also. We have to remember the Lord and take care of our duties. When we do our duties, being conscious of God, that oh God, my wife has been given to me by you. My children have been given by me to you. Sorry, from you to me. Or my husband has been given to me by you. And that way, since you have brought these members in my life, that way it is my duty to serve them and help them come closer to you. That's very important. Helping my family member come closer to the grace of God. When we do this, and in this spirit, when we live in household life, we maintain them, we feed them, we educate them, then such a grihastha life is known as grihastha ashram. When there is no conception of God in family life, then family life is known as grihasthi. तो उसको बोलते हैं गृहस्थ है, त्रस्त है, पस्त है, चारों खाने पस्त है, तब है. But when God becomes the center of household life, that means His pleasure, His teachings, then grihasth becomes grihasth ashram. That means grihastha life becomes purified. So that means to escape from one's home and live in some kind of monastery and living a life of a hypocrite. Far, 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 far better is to be a sincere householder with devotion and culture of care and service. I may go to temple and receive education, spiritual education. I may ask doubts, but we don't have to quit home and then we will be spiritual. No, I have to transform that place from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness, and that's it. Some people have this idea कि भाई हम जी तो रहे हैं ना, अपने कर्म कर तो रहे हैं हम, क्या चाहते हैं आप? ये मंदिरों में घंटे वंटे पीते हैं हम जिम्मेदारी निभा, मैं अपनी बीवी पाल रहा हूं ना, बच्चे पाल रहा हूं ना, यही होता सब कुछ, कर्म ही पूजा है. अच्छा सर आपने कहां से पढ़ा आपने? ये सब वो ट्रक के पीछे लिखा हुआ था उसमें. Associate the बगल में 2 दिए भी बनाए हुए थे उसमें, कर्म ही पूजा है. So some people live this dictate, this sentence, this sutra very, very sincerely. Karma hi puja. It's absolutely bogus. Karma hi puja. You ask a person, अच्छा किसकी पूजा है? किसकी पूजा मतलब? No answer. Now typically the person, like in Delhi, I'm telling you about Delhi. Somebody gets up early in the morning, सुबह उठता है, कहता है मेरी socks कहाँ हैं? मेरी shirt कहाँ है? मेरी tie कहाँ है? मेरी pant कहाँ है? मेरी shoes कहाँ है? lunch कहाँ है मेरा? भाई टाइम से दिया करो ना. तुम लोग लेट हो जाता हूँ, गाली हमें खानी पड़ती है, कमाओ तुम लोगों के लिए, गाली भी खाओ, टाइम से दिया करो ना. उसका निकल जाता है, फिर ट्रैफिक में जूझ रहा है, ठीक है, ऑफिस में धुआं भी है, पोल्यूशन भी है, और फिर ऑफिस पहुंचता है, वहाँ पॉलिटिक्स भी है, एनवियसनेस भी है, कंपटीशन भी है, और फिर काम करता रहता है, शाम को जूझता जानता है, फिर से अपनी गाड़ी में बैठता है, फिर वापस आता है, फिर ट्रैफिक जाम हो रखा है, फ्लाईओवर के ऊपर खड़ा हुआ है, यार नीचे जाम लगता था, अभी ऊपर जाम लगना शुरू हो गया, फिर नीचे जाकर घर पहुंचता है, घर जाकर टीवी ऑन करता है, सारे चैनल चेंज करता है, कोई एक ढंग का चैनल नहीं है, कितना पैसे दे डिश के टीवी वालों को, एक ढंग का चैनल नहीं है लोगों के पास. अरे भाई बंदा भूखा आता है, उसको कुछ समय से मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा. बच्चे आते हैं, पापा पापा, अरे बच्चे संभाला करना तुम यार, क्या बच्चे शोर मचाते रहते हैं, बच्चे संभाला, क्या मेरे अकेले बच्चे हैं क्या, मैंने अकेले पैदा किए हैं क्या, तुम्हारे बच्चे नहीं गए, और फिर से खाना खाता है और फिर रोज सो जाता है. ये पूजा है. बहुत खतरनाक पूजा नहीं है, बहुत ही घमासान पूजा दी है. So कर्म ही पूजा है is absolutely bogus concept. कि मैं अपने 20 बच्चे पाल रहा हूँ ना जी, ये पूजा होती है. नहीं, ये ड्यूटी होती है, ये पूजा नहीं होती. Taking care of the family members is our duty. पर ये पूजा नहीं है, पूजा तो प्रभु की होती है. So प्रभु का नाम लेना, उनकी शिक्षाओं को पढ़ना, उनको अप्लाई करना और फैमिली मेंबर्स को इंस्पायर करना कि हम सब मिलकर के भगवान से अपना प्यार बढ़ाएं. We should increase our devotion and love for God. That is puja. So we should do our duty as well as puja. दोनों करने चाहिए. We should not misrecognize my duty as puja. मुझे वही पूजा बस और कोई पूजा वूजा नहीं. मैं एक ऑफिस में मेरी पूजा है बस और एक वो वाली पूजा बस. So this is how. So we should take care of both of them. Yeah. Sometimes this takes more priority. Sometimes this takes more priority. Like that. Like early in the morning, I should get up, chant the holy name, read few verses of Gita, and then start your day. Going to college, going to office, household duties, like that. In the evening, again, all members they assemble together, and they all sing together. Okay, wife, okay, you sing the holy name. We will follow you. Sometimes husband sings, and then rest of the members they follow. Sometimes children they sing, and then the rest of the members follow. Instead of having television as the center of our home, we should have the deities of the Lord as center of our home. The teachings of the Lord as center of the home. That is Grihastha Ashram, not television. Television means idiot box. You associate with a saint, you become a saint. You associate with a drunkard, you become a drunkard. You associate with idiot box, what will you become? Idiots. And all those who are very creative people, they don't watch television. Because it snubs our creativity. Yeah. So this is how we are to take care of both of them. You know, with spiritual consciousness, we should take care of our family members as well. So escapism is not spirituality. In fact, we see that all these bogus babas and sadhus nowadays, they are escapists. They found a cheap way to earn money. They are not service oriented. वो समाज की सेवा नहीं कर पाते. क्यों? Because ये भगोड़े हैं. Escapists हैं. I'm not talking about genuine sadhus, bogus sadhus. Like Baba Ram Rahim and all that. All these crazy people come. Why? Because they want an easy way out. Because in India, 92% people are faithful. 92% people are God believers. Only 8% people are atheists or antagonistic or like that, or averse to spirituality. But 92% people, that's glory of India. In India, if somebody logically defeats us that God does not exist, still we would say, देखो जी कोई तो है. Even though somebody will logically defeat me that God exists, you would say no, God does not exist. Logic 1, logic 2, logic 3, Charles Darwin theory, A theory, Big Bang theory, pop. Of course, all these are bogus theories. But if somebody even defeats me, ठीक है आप बोल तो रहे हैं कि कोई नहीं है लेकिन कोई तो है. And that's India, you know. That's India. Amazing place. Amazing place. I've been to USA, I've been to the, other countries as well, but I must say this is the best place. India. Very, very special. Very, very special. Even though, you know, here students, they are always, they're allured by the proposals from the West. Youngsters. But believe me, yeah, that's your choice in case you want to pursue your career there. But India, इसके जैसा कुछ नहीं. बहुत ज़बरदस्त जगह है India. Or any other question? Yes. Okay. Yes.
I'd like you to make a comment on. I have lived my life with a tremendous common sense.
Yeah.
To me, when I first graduated, I fell in love with a particular technology of power supplies,
Yeah.
and I loved it, so I pursued it, and making money was byproduct. I liked some people, and they were working for me, and I always felt that I should make them happy, I should make them millionaire, and they made me millionaire. Here I always preach to Dr. Sharma that we should take care of our professors, we should make sure that their family is happy, treat them like they are our own Ganpat University family. I think it works. So then how do you tie that with the Bhagwat Gita teaching?
Yeah. Okay. The culture of service is very beautiful. When we have this attitude of service, it makes us happy and makes others also happy. Like Bill Gates also, he has decided to give 90% of his money in donation. Because he also knows that the pleasure of giving is far greater than the pleasure of achieving. So to give it to others is certainly very, very rewarding. Have you heard of the Jordan River? Yeah? This river Jordan, it divides into two parts. One is the Dead Sea, and another is the river of Galilee. Now this Dead Sea is dead. There is no flora, fauna, aquatics, nothing. But in this river of Galilee, there is life. Flora, fauna, aquatics, they're there. Even the Jordan River, it divides into two. That means supply is same. Yet one part is dead. And one part is full of life. Why? Because Jordan River, when it goes into the river of Galilee, the river of Galilee, it gives further its water to some other ponds or water reservoirs or tributaries. In this way, it gives it water further. In this way, new and new fresh water keeps coming into the river of Galilee. And this way, the river of Galilee remains very lively. But that ocean does not share this water. And that way, water keeps evaporating, and then there is thick, salty water, which is Dead Sea. So those who share with others in terms of service, thinking about their happiness, they remain fresh. And that way, Dadaji, your life is the example for that. Thinking about others. Service. And that is what keeps you also very lively and smiling. He's 75 years young. Why? Because of selfless attitude.
So there is one more comment.
Yeah.
Bill Gates is donating a lot of money, more than anybody else on the world. But his wealth keeps increasing faster than he can donate.
I'm sorry, what's that?
His wealth is increasing faster than he could donate.
Yes, that's true.
Do you know that? Does everybody know that? It works that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it works that way.
So when we give, then we receive. Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita says that apart from this already followed good culture, we should also add the element of spirituality, so that we also become free from the cycle of birth and death as well. In this life, you are fortunate. We get Dada as our guardian, but in next life, you may not get such a good guardian. Then, so to quit the cycle of birth and death and to be in constant association of God, that is also important. So for that, apart from this already service-oriented life, we should also add the culture of spirituality, the culture of teachings of God. Just like currently you have organized this Gita JAYANTI seminar or discourse on the glories of the Bhagavad Gita. So this kind of discourses and this education is also should also be added to the already existing service-oriented culture, and that is what is required. So already that which is perfect becomes even more perfect by the addition of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and association of devotees chanting the holy names. That's the thing. Yeah. Any other question? Yes? Okay, anyone? Yes? Any lady has a question? Or because ladies, they usually they listen but they don't have any question, because either it is crystal clear or no clear or all clear. Okay, anyone else? Yes? We got 5 more minutes, so I'll address one more question. Okay, yes.
सर, आप मानते हो कि कोई भी चीज में सुधार लाने के लिए उसमें अपडेट लाना बहुत जरूरी है?
उसमें अपग्रेड लाना जरूरी है. हाँ,
आप मानते हो इस थॉट?
बिल्कुल सी बात है.
हाँ, तो आपको अभी तक ऐसा लगा कि भगवत गीता में ये जो पॉइंट है उसमें कोई अपडेट लाना चाहिए? आपका ओपिनियन सिर्फ.
हाँ, yeah. So usually, like in this world, when we have books, we have enlarged edition, we have updated edition, we have revised version. Now it is 2.0, now it is 3.0, now 4.0. So Bhagavad Gita should also maybe require some kind of upgradation. 2.0, Bhagavad Gita 2.0. भगवान ने कुछ श्लोक मिस कर दिए थे. And that's the difference between the life in the material world and life in the spiritual world. In our everyday life, we need some kind of upgradation, whether it is a software upgradation or in terms of education. We need some kind of upgradation because everything is relative in the material world. But in the spiritual world, everything is absolute. So when Lord Krishna, when he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it was applicable for those who are in Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga or Kali Yuga. Because anxieties are same, tension is same, lust is same, anger is same, greed is same, ego is same, enviousness is same. So there is one common solution, the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. So how does Bhagavad Gita, it solves the problem? It doesn't get into the nitty-gritties of solution of the problem. No. क्या अभी बताइए कि अच्छा गीता बताइए ये बच्चे कैसे पालने हैं, मुझे बताइए जरा. ये अच्छा ये बीवी को कैसे संभालो बताओ. अच्छा मेरा पति अगर सन की हो तो कैसे संभालना उसको बताइए. क्या दिया भगवान, क्या बताया अर्जुन को कि अगर सन की पति हो तो ऐसे संभालना होता है, खून चूसने वाली पत्नी होता है संभालना होता है, क्या बताया बताइए भगवान ने. So Lord Krishna is not addressing solutions this way. He is addressing solutions in the sense that we cannot change the world, but we can insulate ourselves. We cannot change the world. And that way he told Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, there would be winters and summers. There would be hills and valleys, profit or loss. This duality would be there. But in case you are insulated, so you will not get affected by this duality. And then he gives a beautiful analogy in the 5th chapter. He says that just like the lotus is in the mud, but not of the mud, but above the mud. Similarly, we should work in this world, but not of the world, but above the world, without getting contaminated by the world. Because just like lotus is having the wax covering, and that's why the mud cannot make it dirty. Similarly, we may be working in the world, but not in a worldly way, but in a divine way, so that we remain pure. So that means we are to insulate ourselves. So we insulate ourselves and then we remain transcendental to the dualities of life. And this is a way of solution. Like for example, if somebody gets a pimple, so one solution is clean and clear. Ultra clarison. This is one solution. So if you go to an allopathy doctor, कहते हैं हाँ वो ये लगाइए, क्रीम लगाइए, आपका ठीक हो जाएगा, ठीक है जी. पर वो यहाँ से गया, यहाँ से निकला है. So again I apply ultra claricil here, तो यहाँ से निकला है. So then the person may go to an Ayurvedic doctor. So Ayurvedic doctor would recommend, well, since your blood is dirty, that's why you need to purify your blood. Drink safi. Or maybe you should take neem ka juice, karele ka juice. By that your blood will be purified. Once the blood is purified, and then we see that pimples are gone. So which solution is the real solution? Clean and clear or karele ka juice? Karele ka juice. That's the real solution. Because that attacks the root of the problem. Similarly, Lord Krishna is not addressing day-to-day life issues. He is addressing the root. The root is false ego. He is addressing that. Once that is rectified, and then we see the problems may or may not be there, but we remain unaffected by these problems. So that means he is attacking the root. So we are to address the root cause of the problem. Most of the solutions nowadays, they are patch-up solutions. That means solutions only on the surface. But we should attack the root. Like for example, I just told about this Hyderabad thing. We may have marched, this, that, court rules, that rules. Somebody should be there on the street and then everyone should hit him by the stone and then kill him in public. That's the way of punishment, this, that. We should create fear in them. We should also burn them alive and all that. Or shoot them also. But is that a solution? No. That's addressing the problem only on the surface. We have to clean the hearts, the thoughts, the perceptions, attacking the root, making our inside beautiful. And then we would actually become beautiful. Like they're saying that those who are externally beautiful, they are attractive. But those who are internally beautiful, they are captivating. Which is more important, to be attractive or to be captivating? To be captivating. So we should become internally beautiful, and that's what Bhagavad Gita does. It makes us internally beautiful. Alright, I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you, sir. Please. During almost last one and a half hour, we have been preached, teached, and we have been addressed on the discourse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I once again thank from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of the entire Ganpat University family, to Shri Amogh Lila Prabhuji for sparing his valuable time and wisdom to all of us. Thank you. Thank you very much. We closes the function. Thank you.